All right, so I just want to go through this video for the single leg hip thrust. So this is just a demonstration video. We're just going to go through the finer points of it. So notice how I start the movement as I get up onto this bench, which is just under my shoulder blades. Notice how my head's looking forward over my hips, so I'm not overextending on the bench. Now, I start the movement, if I go back real quick, I start the movement by getting both feet on the floor and pressing my hips all the way up. Then I take one leg and bring it up to my chest. So I'm going to hold this position the entire time with the emphasis on squeezing my glute on that side with the foot's in contact with the ground. So in this case, it's my left side glute that's doing the work. So I'm going to hinge and lower myself down, then bridge back up, keeping that shin vertical and pushing through the middle of my foot. Now notice here, I'm holding it at the top. I'm still looking over my hips here. Again, that shin angle is still vertical, and I'm keeping that leg hugged in at the chest on the opposite side. So again, this is just a few reps here on that hip thrust. And when I go to the other side, just switch. Same thing, hinge down. Now, one little nuance here, depending on the height of your bench, if it's a high bench like this, as you bring yourself down, you don't want to slide off the bench. So you don't need to go and bring your butt all the way to the floor every single time. If the height of your bench is too high, you may only lower yourself down to here, for instance, and then bridge back up versus touching your butt all the way down to the floor. So again, this is all dependent upon how long your legs are, your length of your legs to your torso angle, et cetera, et cetera. But kind of the key principles here is that you want to stay in that fixed position. You want to push through the center of your foot. You want to get that nice glute squeeze at the top. You want to keep the head looking forward so you don't overextend your lower back. And you can always load this up as well, putting a dumbbell or kettlebell across your hip and or a barbell. This can be a pretty spicy movement in general for those glutes. And again, you should feel this into your glutes, not the hamstrings. If you're feeling the hamstrings, chances are the foot's too far forward. If you're feeling a lot in the top of the thigh or the quad, chances are the foot's too far back towards your butt, so knees too far over the toes. So hopefully that's helpful just to go through the movement, this single leg hip thrust.